Hello YouTube, this is my alias here with a world news sort of rant. We got Indiana freedom fighters here, and our guest today is Freeman, right?
Yes, sir.
Alright, we've had actually quite a few questions, got like a dozen for you guys to answer today.
Okay.
Well, first of all, what is the Indiana freedom fighters?
Well, I started the militia about a year ago. Um, After I got out of the city, thank God. Um, I didn't want to start it in the city, considering the fact that there's just way too much stuff out there for anybody to be able to see. Um, we're a militia, but we're a very different kind of militia. We do not have ranks in this militia because I'm going to tell you now, when the shit hits the fan, the guy standing next to you is going to be your only lifeline. That's the only guy that's going to be watching your six. And no one else is better than anybody else. That's the way I see it. We're here in case the state of Indiana goes into some kind of martial law, state effect. Um, we're about 500 plus people. We're going to be starting new drills this summer. They're going to be all over the state. We're also going to be doing civilian classes all the time. They're going to be free for anybody who wants to join. We'll be doing survival classes, weapons courses, anything you want to learn. You're more than welcome to come out, watch us drill, anything.
Alright, you already covered my second question. What's the purpose of the militia? You pretty much said that it's just to cover, make sure martial law, so on and so forth. If
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're here in case of natural disasters also. If you know, with the fault lines that are running through here, something like that happens, an invasion happens, anything, we're here just for that.
It's Indiana, our weather's unpredictable.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's been 60 the last 2 days, and tomorrow it's going to snow.
Yeah. All right. So third question is: the militia a part of any like radical group? Radical as in like KKK or neo-Nazi parties?
Absolutely not. In fact, we are completely non-discriminatory. That is one of the only rules that I have in this militia is that there is absolutely no discrimination, period, against females, blacks, whites, Hispanic, green people, purple people. It doesn't matter to me. I don't put up with it. I have mixed race in my family. I have gay people in my family. That I don't play that game. There is no discrimination at all. There never will be, and if there is, it will be handled with harshly.
All right. Question four: we have obviously, like you said, that's one of your major rules. But is there any other restrictions for anyone attempting or wanting to join the militia?
Absolutely not. The only thing I ask is that you're willing to learn and willing to work hard to learn it.
All right. Um, so I know a lot of militias are sort of like viewed as anarchists sometimes and
Uh,
anti-government.
yeah.
What's your standpoint on the anti-government sort of?
Well, it depends because there is a lot of radical groups out there, and there is a lot of people who are members of. A lot of what I've seen is a lot of friends and a lot of family. They get together, they call themselves militias. You know, it's not about that. And there's a lot of people that say that most of them are really radicalized and that a lot of them are, national socialists or white supremacists. You know, there's a lot of that going on, and there will be. And no matter what, when the shit hits the fan, those people are going to be just as much in power as all the other militias. The only difference is we need to come together, and people are not realizing that. We need to come together to get not only the government, but to the other 3% of the nation and the other 97% of the nation to
Are you there?
realize what's happening.
Okay. You
Yeah.
you just cut out for a second. All right. I had a question from just someone in general. They asked if they didn't have to like give out personal information or join anonymously.
Um, Anonymously isn't really too much of an option. Only there's no paper done, period. I ask people that I have a questionnaire for people that I like to find out who you are, an emergency contact in case something's happened to you. We know who to contact to make sure if you have health insurance, what we need to do. Other than that, the only questions I really ask are personal questions and political questions, for the fact that, one, I want to make sure that either you have a background or you don't have a background, and that's in military and a criminal record. Criminal record does not necessarily exempt you from being in a militia. Violent offenders, I'm sorry, that just won't happen. Sex offenses, felony doesn't disqualify. I'm going to let you know right now. But on an everyday basis, you will not be able to handle a weapon, period. You're going to have to learn self-defense in another manner. But I'm going to tell you now, when the shit hits the fan, there is no such thing as a felon without a gun.
All right. So, for our next question, do you have to own a firearm to actually join?
No, you do not.
All right. You said you're gonna be doing public meetings. Do you guys have anything you know about that they might be doing that anytime soon?
I'm planning meet and greet and a policy meeting either at the end of this month or the beginning of April.
Okay.
And I'm trying. I'm waiting for the State Department to open, so I can find out where I can get a reservation at, so that we can have somewhere to meet at.
All right. Oh, what can someone expect when they join the militia? In general, knowledge-wise, I guess.
What they're wanting to learn, or what we're teach them?
Yes, yeah, teaching them and what they'll probably learn once they join the militia.
Well, first of all, you're going to learn it. Well, it really depends, because the criteria that we're going to be doing is, I'm going to go based off the information you gave me as an individual, what you feel your strengths and what you feel your weaknesses are. This is going to be pretty much on an individual basis, because some people are weaker in areas and some people are stronger in other areas. And I don't want people that are stronger in other areas to be focusing on something that they're already strong at. We need to hit their weak points instead of their strong points to make them better as an individual and as a militia member.
Absolutely. This is a personal question for you. What is your opinion on the recent events between America and Russia?
Well,
as a militia leader,
it's very disturbing. I can say that. I definitely would like to see it fixed diplomatically, for sure. War is hell, and anybody that's been in the military will tell you that. Nobody ever wants to go to war. Nobody's ever prepared for war. You don't want to be. That's just not what you want to be prepared for. But the purpose of a militia is to be prepared for the worst case scenario, and we just have to deal with that. Russia is going to end up taking Crimea. I mean, that's all there is to it. It's just up to the U.S. and the EU to figure out what they plan to do about it. Because in the end, Crimea is still not going to be a part of the Ukraine. It's going to be a part of Russia. And there's nothing we can do to stop it unless we start war with Russia. And now Poland's asking us to send more troops to Poland after we've already sent 300 ground troops plus 15 F-16s.
Looks like they're pushing to me.
Yeah, an invitation from a country like that is usually only backed when they're being asked to ask the question. That's the way I've always seen it.
All right. So another second of opinion, pretty much. A lot of Facebook policies have sort of brought down the gun posts on Facebook. How do you feel about that?
I've seen a ton of gun groups go secret. A lot of them that I'm joined up with, a lot of the other militias that are around, they're turning their groups from closed to secret, and who's in it's who's in it, and that's it. Um, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, I'm going to tell you now, is an absolute Democratic idiot. He's a liberal, and he is just out for money. I mean, you think about this. 2 days after Facebook and Twitter went on to the Dow Jones Industrial Complex, they were already worth billions of dollars. And they don't make any money. How in the world are they worth money if they don't make it?
Exactly.
I mean, they're a power structure. They're part of what's going to help control the minds of the citizens. And they're doing a good job of it if you look at it. I mean, everybody's glued to their phones, glued to their tablets, glued to the computer, glued to the TV. Why do we need that? Whatever happened to outside time? When I was a kid, if I wasn't outside, I was getting my ass kicked.
All right.
And you knew when lights came on that it was time to go home.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Just a quick overview. If someone wanted to join, how would they come out to reach out to you guys? Like,
You can get it on the Facebook pages. I have the one. It's www.facebook.com/Indiana Freedom Fighters. And then I also have my personal page, which is Human Indiana.
all right. I will post that in the link below once I post this as well. Is there anything else you would like to tell before we go?
Absolutely. People prepare, and there's a reason for it. You know, I explained this to a lot of my guys yesterday. You know, over the last 4 days, my dog's been really badly sick, and if I hadn't have been prepared and if I hadn't gotten the knowledge that I had, my dog would have been dead. And you know, it's not. I mean, people don't understand. It's not just for a disaster. It's not just for an apocalypse. You can use these skills in everyday life. I mean, you never know when a situation might arise that you need to save your own family.
Exactly.
And it's good to have that knowledge. And no matter what, we Indiana Freedom Fighters were built on prepping. Just like the other 3%. We were built on prepping. Understanding that something's going to happen. We don't know when, we don't know what, we don't know how. But we know something's going to happen, and we want to make sure that we're prepared for it so that we can save our friends and our family. That's our biggest thing. People need to prep. You need to learn the skills to survive, not only to be able to feed yourselves, but to be able to doctor yourselves if you need to. Just prepare. War is coming. It may not be tomorrow, it may not be a week or a month from now, but it is coming. It's all over the news. It's all over mainstream media. It's all over alternative media. It's coming. And you can see it. Just open your eyes.
All right, Freeman. That's all I think we have time for today, but I appreciate you calling, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Have a good day.